Guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. No, but really, I know this must come as a surprise to like 2 of you, but I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. I don't know how Veo works, I don't know how the YouTube algorithm works, I can barely drink a glass of water without drowning myself. The only thing I can get done properly and on a regular basis is your girlfriend. But hey, one thing's for sure, the numbers don't lie. And you find folks really prefer it when I talk about AI stuff. So now the question is, how to make AI interesting enough for me to keep my interest aroused? And in the words of the incomparable Frank Reynolds,
I'm gonna get real weird with it.
In this video, I put Veo 3 through another series of tests on its image-to-video voice generation capabilities. Only this time we're going to take it to a whole new level. We're going to try and break Veo by feeding it literally anything other than a normal human being. Cyborgs, animals, Lovecraftian horrors, a banana with googly eyes, sure, f*** it, why not? And maybe, just maybe, I can win back the love and affection of the algorithm before this channel completely f***ing dies. So let's get into it. Veo did pretty well with my last round of image-to-video generation tests, so we're gonna stick with the same formula and see how weird we can get with it before Veo breaks. I'm gonna feed it a series of first-frame pictures of wacky characters along with some very simple text prompts, which will all take this format. And just for fun, I'm gonna have Veo repeat a different tongue twister in each round of dialogue. Let's start with this series of elemental creatures. They should be pretty easy because they all have clear humanoid facial features. And remember, we're testing for vocal character and tenor, but also whether Veo will provide appropriate background sound effects for each element. Let's begin.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York.
Pretty okay overall, I guess. Not sure why it turned the fire elemental into a sparkler, and the nature elemental was even stiffer than Michael Keaton's Batman, but other than that, the sound effects were pretty appropriate. I'm guessing that Veo's speech generation operates on a tag-based system, and so when the supernatural tag gets hit, it just makes the voice really echoey.
Unique New York. Unique New York.
But, overall, I think this test did pretty well. Let's see if we can make it weirder. With robots. I did these from most human-like to least human-like, as I assumed a lack of facial features would make it harder for Veo to know what to do in terms of animation. We're looking for speech compliance, and I would also be thrilled if we could maybe get some beep-boop sound effects. So, let's give it a try.
A proper copper coffee pot. A proper copper coffee pot.
A proper copper coffee pot. A proper copper coffee pot.
A proper copper coffee pot. A proper copper coffee pot.
A proper copper coffee pot. A proper copper coffee pot.
All right, well, first off, I'm surprised that the most human-like cyborg was the only one to screw up their line. One of my favorite things about Veo is still when one of the characters messes up their lines and then gets a guilty or disappointed look on their face like, yeah, no, I fucked up on that one. There wasn't nearly as much robot-like characterization as I would have hoped. I was looking for some kind of like auto-tuning or synthetic sounding modulation or something, but we really didn't get hardly any of that here. It's also interesting that even for characters that don't start out with a mouth, Veo just kind of invents one for them. It seems like it really wants something to move around while the speech is being played. This might present a difficulty when generating speech for a character wearing a mask or something similar. Though on the other hand, if you're doing a character wearing a mask, you should be using literally any other video generator and just doing voiceover work. So my sympathy for you is non-existent at that point. Up next, let's try out some slightly less human characters. We'll do a ghost, an alien, a minotaur, and a Cthulhu-looking thing. Here we go.
Fresh fried fish. Fish fresh fried.
Fresh fried fish. Fish fresh fried. Fresh fried fish. Fish fresh fried. Fresh fried fish. Fish fresh fried.
So it's interesting that for these three characters, the alien, the Minotaur, and the Cthulhu baby, it went with a very deep voice for all of them, and with very little modulation at all. And the ghost character was just a complete fail. There was nothing ghostly about it at all. He sounded like a radio newscaster. Honestly, I think this was the most disappointing batch in terms of characterization. There really isn't anything to talk about here. Up next, let's see what it does with some animals. I went with a cat, an owl, a capybara, and a spider. Here we go.
11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants.
11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants.
11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants. 11 benevolent elephants.
Okay, so this one was more interesting. There's a few different things going on here that I think are noteworthy. First, with this spider clip, again, we see that Veo really wants there to be something moving when the lines are being delivered, even if it's legs, I guess. Secondly, the cat and the owl both had their lines interrupted by animal noises, which were appropriate at least, but the capybara and the spider did not. Now, it should be obvious that there's a lot more videos out there of cats and owls making noises than of capybaras and spiders, so this will present an interesting challenge for anyone who wants videos of anthropomorphized animals that deliver lines. Not sure how you're going to be able to get Veo to consistently exclude animal noises. For our final batch of tests, I saved the weirdest for last. I really wanted to show inanimate objects with no real facial features to speak of deliver lines, but in the spirit of fairness, I decided to add googly eyes just so Veo would have a better chance of identifying the character as the character. I made an exception for the toaster because, well, when Midjourney created this absolute monstrosity with a piece of toast for a face, it was just too good to not use. Anyway, here you go. Please enjoy.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather?
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
I don't know about you guys, but that banana is going to haunt my fucking dreams. Okay, so once again, we see that Veo will absolutely not deliver speech without some piece of something moving, even if it has to tear a hole in space-time itself to give the character a mouth out of nothing. Also, the typewriter being the only one to fuck up its line and also the only character with subtitles is a special kind of irony. At least the subtitles were accurate, so I guess it technically gets a pass. I don't know. Now let's talk about the issues that I ran into. First and foremost, this stapler did not generate with sound for a very weird reason. Veo allowed me to upload the picture with no problem, but when I went to animate it, it declined the request, saying that it couldn't generate speech for underage characters. According to Veo, this stapler is a child.
Ugliest child I've ever seen.
But it gets better. Veo still charged me for the video generation of this supposedly underage stapler. So I guess be advised that Veo will sometimes allow you to upload things that it thinks are inappropriate and then deny your request to animate them and still charge you for the animation. And again, there's no real mechanism for requesting a credit refund for this kind of nonsense. So, you know, fuck all the way off, Google. Thankfully, this was Veo 3 fast. If I had blown 100 credits on this BS, I would have been pissed. Secondly, holy sweet Christ on a cracker, Veo needs to figure out how to be able to upload more than one photo at a time. This is the process for uploading a picture. You have to do this for every single image you want to upload, one at a time. There's no option to select more than one file, no click and drag, nothing. I only had to do this 20 times to make this video, and I wanted to put my face through a wall. Imagine having to do this hundreds of times. You would think that the company that did Google Photos would come up with something better than this, but apparently not. Yet again, Veo's user interface is easily the most embarrassingly bad part of the whole thing. And also probably the easiest thing that it would be to fix. This thing's been out for months and still no significant improvements on the UI. They should be ashamed of themselves. Anyway, that's all I've got for this video. By the way, a big shout out to the folks in my comments section who tried very gently but firmly to warn me that pivoting away from AI content so hard and fast was a terrible idea. You were absolutely right, and I am absolutely not above admitting that I was wrong. Again, I am King Doofus of Doofus Mountain over here. This is my first YouTube channel, and I have no idea how any of this shit is supposed to work. I'm still happy with the non-AI videos that I made, but I will probably end up making a second channel to start about random stuff so that I don't tank this channel any harder than I already have. I'm thinking it's definitely way past time to move away from Veo, so please let me know which AI video product you'd like for me to play around with next. Leave your comments below, and I guess whichever one gets the most votes will win. Or f it, if there's anything AI related that y'all want me to talk about, let me know and I'll consider it. I'm thinking that if I just try to be more creative about how I engage with AI video, I'll be able to come up with something entertaining and informative. Thanks again, everyone. Appreciate all of you, and I'll see y'all next time.